yo, what's up? It's your boy Greasy Too Smooth. Welcome to the Black on Black Wolf podcast, where we have interesting conversations and exciting conversations with people from around Chicago and from around the world. Today, I'm joined by my man Anton, aka Alan Scorsese, and y'all already know when y'all see us together, we about to talk about some things going on in the world. You know, one of the things that we do on the platform is we try to inform and enlighten and share positive uh, uh, feedback and positive images of black entrepreneurs and black people doing great things, but in the spirit of being fully transparent and 100 with our people in our community. When we see some crazy stuff going on, we also want to weigh in on it because we want to have intelligent dialogue about some of the things that's going on, and not just opinions, but some opinions too, but also a little bit of dialogue and just kind of expand your thought on some of the things going on in the world, man. So, Tom, what's the word, man? How you feeling today, bro?
I'm depressed, man. My cat died, man.
Ah, the cat, man,
Yeah,
yeah.
little shop cat, man. You know, it's all good, man. You know.
The little neighborhood cat, man. Hey, well, listen, it's crazy because you just found out that the shop cat had been eating at other people's shop. So you know that make you the number one suspect in her death, bro. I'm just saying. You know, I don't want to see you on an episode of Forensic Files, man. And you ain't put no antifreeze in the. Nah,
that little bitch played me before she died, man.
She played you, bro.
Yeah, she was eating at everybody's house, man. You know.
Eating at everybody's house. But yeah, R.I.P. to the neighborhood cat, man. That was a cool little cat. Word. So man, you hit me this week, and of course we all been scrolling. We've been checking out social media, looking at what's popping in the streets, and of course the big thing, you hit me this week, man, and you wanted to talk to me about this Diddy thing, man. This Diddy, hey, in the words of 50 Cent, brother love, brother love. Hey, man, so, yo, with that being said, let's dive right in, man. So, for those who don't know, which I'm sure they do now, Cassie dropped this suit filed in federal court. She basically said that Diddy is a maniacal, vicious, diabolical scoundrel of a human being who majors in treachery and debauchery, whatever big ass word for evil you can use. That's pretty much what she called him, bro. What you think about that, man? Let me know your feelings on this here, man.
He did that shit.
He did that shit.
Oh, he did. And look,
talk to me.
We know Diddy's, but besides all that, you know, we wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? But you know, his reputation ain't, you know, it ain't the cleanest. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
You know, there's plenty of stories about, you know, what he's done to people. You know what I'm saying? We see how he's treated artists in the past, whatever, you know,
right.
And just, you know, how he treats people in general. You know, he just, you know, how did he do?
They all disposable.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying. So
expendable.
It's like you have a tendency to, you know, that's typically what abusers, you know, their you know character is like, you know, they're controlling, you know, they're abusive, they're physically and verbally abusive, but besides the fact, this is the biggest issue I've had out of this whole thing is, and typically what happens whenever a woman comes forward,
right?
You know, about a rape, about physical abuse. There's always you know, and I was one of those people before, even when Bill Cosby had gotten into his shit.
Right.
We always ask that question: is like, why did these women wait?
Right.
You know, so many years before, you know, they came forward. Here's the thing: who cares?
Okay.
Who cares why it took so long? Because at the end of the day, nobody questioned all of these white men,
right,
who were sexually molested by priests,
right,
for 50, 60 years, you know, and then they finally got the courage to come out and say what they need to say, but nobody ask them why did you wait? Or you just want some money, and that's everybody's their logic on it is that she just wanted some money. And it's like at the end of the day, she can't go back in time and undo what was done. It's a civil suit.
Right.
There's no jail time involved. So it's like, what did she expect to, like what kind of justice can she get? Right. Is she not owed that for what she's been through? Right. Just like any other woman who's been through, rape, physical abuse, verbal abuse, all these other things that, these fucking, excuse me, these windbags, these pigs, man, what they do to, to women, whatever. It's so many people saying, well, she stuck around, and it's like we forget how impressionable young women are when they're around older men with power, with money. They're easily manipulated. Hence R. Kelly. It's easy to say like, oh well, they wanted that, they should have left, and things like that. But meanwhile, you still with the same abusive nigga that work at Home Depot, regular dude kicking your ass, and taking your car, going about his business, mess with other women in your car, and you haven't left him. Right. So imagine trying to leave somebody that's, sitting on $1 billion. Right. It's not as easy, as it seems, and quite frankly, a lot of people have a hard time separating themselves from their abusers. And as to why, she waited so long, it's like, it's for these reasons. Why not? Because we victim shame. Right. Why is she getting all of the blame for what's happening or what happened to her? Right. Shit, I wish somebody would, give me the idea to say I can go sue somebody for $30 million for the shit they put me through. Absolutely. Right. I'm going to go get that.
So that, I'm not going to play devil's advocate here, right? But I'm going to speak from a different point of view. What you just ended with, like, yo, I'm going to go sue somebody for $30 million, right? There is the point that I think a lot of these disgruntled people are making, right? We live in a society where if you go kill somebody, if me and you get in the car right now, we go somewhere, you kill somebody, I'm still in the car. You come back, you get in the car, man, I just had to murder this dude. Come on, let's go, right? I don't want to be bothered. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But if I don't tell somebody that you murder somebody, when they come for me, for you, they coming for us. They run back to tape. Oh man, he was in the car. He told you he killed somebody. Why didn't you come to us, right? You're instantly held accountable. Even though you wasn't there, even though you had no hand in it, just because you knew, the same justice system will take your entire life away, right? So how can that same justice system turn around and say that you can voluntarily, because I read through some of the transcripts, man, he had her voluntarily taking drugs, voluntarily having sex with sex workers, voluntarily flying her to places and having her call. Like, this was an orchestrated event to the point where my thing is, she has some accountability in that. You can be influenced, but when you become an adult, like the same way you got to go to the gun range and pass a test and get a concealed carry license, you're saying that I have this license and I'm going to do the right thing. Now, if I get with somebody that manipulates me and gives me some drugs and gives me some liquor and say, yo, there go that dude I don't like, shoot him. I can't tell the police, oh, but I got a concealed carry. So what? It was murder. He was unarmed. Oh, well, this guy influenced me. He gave me some drugs and told me. That's not going to fly nowhere else, bro. So my thing is just, at what point at what point, because we're in a dangerous space right now where we're not looking at accountability, right? Americans don't want to be accountable for anything. I just saw a court case where a a young lady and a young man was both drunk. They both drunk. They get to having sex. She pass out. She wake up. She start fighting him. He like, oh, what's up? His people bust in the room. Oh, man, what you doing? He like, man, she just came up here with me. We both wasted. We both had a bunch of drinks. She passed out in the middle of the you dig. I kept going. Not saying it's right or wrong. I agree that no means no, right? But she says, okay, he raped me because I was drinking and I wasn't in my right mind to do the right thing. But he also was drinking and wasn't in his right mind to do the right thing. So at what point do we create a solid line of accountability for all parties involved?
Okay. On the flip side of what you were saying,
Right.
So I can't remember exactly what year this was. I want to say this is between like 2008 and like 2010 or something like that.
Right.
White girl named I believe her name was Michelle Carter.
Okay.
She had a boyfriend / friend. I don't know what their actual relationship was.
Right.
He was depressed, and for weeks, she was, he kept telling her that he wanted to kill himself, and she was encouraging him to kill himself. So at some point, he started feeling better, and he wanted to live life. They got the text message and everything. She kept encouraging him. She was like, oh, you keep calling me. You haven't done it yet. When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it? Mm-hmm. So the day in question, he was in the truck, went to this empty parking lot or whatever, and was going to poison himself with carbon monoxide. She was on the phone with him. Well, no, they was texting. He got out the car because he got scared. She, no, get back in this.
What?
Yeah. He got back in the car, killed himself.
Okay. She accessory to murder.
She went to jail.
Wow.
So, that being said, they, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how it goes or whatever, but they do hold people accountable when you are the influencer. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you were like a willing participant, if you coax somebody into a crime or coax them into, because there's this thing called I forgot what type of rape it is. When you coax a woman, you can guilt a woman out of her panties, you know what I'm saying, and it would be considered rape.
Right.
If you be like, oh my God, like you got me over here, man. Like, man, I ain't finna talk to you no more, man. Like, you ain't gonna give me no coochie, And she just like, okay, I go ahead, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a slippery slope.
And that's just, that's preposterous to me. Only because, listen, man, as a black man, right, let's talk about accountability. Because here's why I take offense to it. I've seen too many absolutely outrageous and heinous things take place where nobody was held accountable. And if we are deciding as a society that when you become an adult you are responsible for your actions, then that should be all the way across the board, right? And again, I'm not advocating for emotional abuse. I'm not advocating for, I think rapists and manipulators are the lowest form of people on this earth, right? But with that being said, having come in contact with so many of them, I think it is very important for us to have strong enough minds and spirits and self-value to where we are impervious to that type of manipulation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like something happens and we don't say, well, somebody does something outrageous. We don't say, well, what led that person to do that? You feel me? We just label them as a monster and say anybody who does what they did, they're a monster. No, like we gotta get to the bottom of the why and how adults look at the Hollywood, bro. R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, P. Diddy. Like, really? Like if everybody's doing this, and collectively you take those four people I just named, right? You're looking at maybe like what 1,000, 1,500 women who weren't tied up, weren't handcuffed, weren't forced at gunpoint. Nobody forced at gunpoint.
Bill Cosby drug motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. I'm not, and I'm not. But this is what I'm saying. So I was just watching. Let's talk about Bill Cosby, right? They got a Showtime special. The guy Kamal something. He's a black journalist and comedian, and they were interviewing the ladies, and I saw just what you said. Several of the women were like, "Well, I was there, and I was a young girl, and it was Bill Cosby, and he handed me these pills, and he said this will make you feel better." And like a dummy, I took them. Well, you admitted right there that you did something stupid, right?
Yeah, we all do something stupid when we're younger.
Over and over and over and over again. So I think that it's more important on us as a society to teach our young girls and our young ladies how to not be influenced by this money and this power, right? But here's the thing. For Cassie to file this suit one day and settle it the next, I feel like that's the opposite message. I feel like that's sending the message that, okay, if somebody does something to you, at least get some money out of the deal. I don't like the way that looks, bro.
I don't think it's so, as eloquent as you put it, just get some money out of it. It's like at the end of the day, what is left? He's not going to jail.
And that's my point. Look, R. Kelly paid off women for years, and when he couldn't afford it anymore, let's make a documentary and finally ruin his reputation and then lock him up. He paid out millions to these same women he was doing this stuff to, and as long as he was paying out that money, he was allowed to stay free, which allowed him to victimize other people. Mm-hmm. So you said it yourself. You think Diddy did it. If he did do it and he gets to pay her this money and he's still free, then guess what happens to all of the future women who come in contact with him? You get what I'm saying?
I hear you on that, but I do think, especially, how society is like really, really coming down on rape culture now, that anybody, watching that, or even, Diddy himself, will think twice about the shit that they're gonna do to people.
No.
This is how I'm looking at it.
So based on what evidence? Because if you watch a James Bond movie, anywhere from the 60s up until now, what James Bond doing? He grabbing the girl and he ripping her. If you watch Hollywood and how they portray the male and the woman in their dynamic, Hollywood has always portrayed the masculine dominant male and the damsel in distress, right? As a culture, right? Mm-hmm. Prime example. Rick Ross made 50 songs about shooting and killing and doing all of this and that, and as soon as he said, I put a Molly in her bill and she ain't even know it, right? They taking away endorsements, but they're not challenging him to change his behavior. They're not saying to him, you need to understand why what you said is wrong. We're just going to pull his endorsements. We just either going to take away some money or we're going to give some money.
It's because you know what? Some people don't understand unless you hit them in the pocket.
Yeah.
That's just, especially when it comes to men. And, to go back on what you said, we have to teach our young ladies, how not to put themselves in positions, where, they're going to end up, assaulted, raped, and being, don't allow yourself to be influenced. But at the same time, too, we have to teach our sons not to be opportunists, not to be abusers or whatever, because it's like we have a lot, especially when, like for me, I have a daughter. So of course, I have 3 daughters. Right. So of course, my feelings on certain things are going to, lean more towards, putting myself in a position where, if I have to talk to my daughter about this, right, or if my daughter was ever in this position, how I would feel, right, and so, and on the flip side, people who have sons, especially women who have sons, they always gonna take their son's side. They always gonna be like, oh, that ain't your baby. This is gonna be. It's always gonna be. What's the term I'm looking for? A double standard.
Right.
But what I've learned to do is, because I had to also teach my daughters too. Like I had to tell my other, my oldest daughter, about keeping her hands to herself because she's always fighting with her little boyfriend, and she'll tell me like, I had hit him in his mouth. I said, he's gonna beat your ass. You better stop putting your hands on him.
Right.
Don't do that. I said, I have to tell my daughter a couple times like, hey, if you were my son's girlfriend, I wouldn't like you.
Right.
So I try to be as fair,
right,
with these situations or whatever. And so, what really had me, disturbed with this whole Diddy situation were people, especially this one guy on my page, and not only him, another young lady who said that, they basically saying that, this is a issue that black women shouldn't, feed into because Cassie not fully black.
I think that's ignorance. I think that's ignorance, bro. But I'm gonna say this, and this is just my point. If you're a predator, you should be incarcerated. Period. If you're a predator, you should be incarcerated. There should not be if I make it past go, I could just collect 200 and give it to my victims.
No,
man.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's the part I'm saying. It's
yeah,
like,
and that that's mean to cut you off, but that's also a big issue with America. Money trumps all.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If somebody harmed your daughter, right, purposely or maliciously, and you got $30 million and they got to go free, would you rather they be in jail and you get nothing, or would you rather get $30 million and know that that person is free to harm other people and hasn't learned their lesson at all?
Of course, I would love to see that person in jail.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, everything you're saying is 100% correct. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't debate what you're saying. Right. I'm looking at it from a realistic standpoint of how things are. Because if I'm looking at it like this, this man, we know he's not going to jail. Right. He has the money, he has the influence, he has the power.
I don't believe that, bro.
Who, Diddy?
I don't listen, right? We've seen him in legal debacles before. Yeah. Right? When he got into the incident with Shine in the club, he separated himself. He had himself tried, separately. Right now he got all this stuff going on with Keefe D and all these things. I believe that it's definitely possible for his ass to end up in jail.
No. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's improbable.
Oh, improbable. Okay. So more likely than not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So right. when you're looking at it from a situation where this man is more than likely not going to end up in prison, right? And you're not going to see any justice that way. Right. Some justice is better than none in certain situations. So it's like, if he's not going to go to prison, if I'm not going to be able to kill this nigga, and they're saying like, hey, she can sue him, right? And it'd be some kind of justice. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's not me saying that. Oh, the money is first and foremost, and it's the cure all, it's the end all. But it's like, bro, you're gonna pay some form. You're gonna have to pay for what you did, right? And that's why I say I don't knock her for, and it's nothing to him. $30 million, man, shit. That's like buying a goddamn Italian beef to him.
Yeah, I don't knock her, bro. All I'm saying is, from the standpoint of people who have been hurt and brutalized and want nothing more than justice for their violator, I think it takes away some credibility for you to drop for the things that she said that he did. For her to just say, okay, he paid me this money, I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I'm gonna allow them, because now it's the terms of the agreement are not disclosed. There's a NDA in there somewhere. So now you can't talk about it. You can't tell your story. You can't in any way prevent him from doing this to anybody else. You have completely lost your power as the voice of someone who has been victimized by a powerful person. You get what I'm saying? You have exchanged a lot. You have endangered. You have voluntarily endangered other people by signing off on this piece of paper saying, "I just won't say anything." You get what I'm saying? If it's a murderer running up and down our block outside our business, bro.
But that affidavit is public.
Yeah,
It's detailed, so he's out there.
Yeah, he been out there, man. Yeah. He been out there, man.
So it's out there.
Everybody been talking about Diddy, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody been talking about Diddy for years. But my thing is, yet again, somebody who'll talk about it, who'll take steps, but who won't follow through to if again, like, man, if you a predator, I feel like I've watched a lot of investigation discovery and the 60 minutes and the 90 minutes, all of the docu films and all of that. And I saw this one where they were interviewing these pedophiles and these child molesters, right? And there was this one guy who was in there. He was doing a life sentence. He had like kidnapped and killed and sexually assaulted several children, right? And what this man said, it really stuck with me. It was profound because it was a complete transparent moment for him, right? And he was just being all the way 100. He said, "I would prefer to be here because regardless of whether they let me out or not, I'm going to do it again because the urge within me, the desire is uncontrollable," right? This man admitted that on camera. He said, "There is no rehabilitating me. This is what I like and this is what I'll do if they let me go," right? So seeing that and hearing that, and then watching, they had some other guy. They had another guy who they had let him go. And one of the things I learned from watching this docuseries, sexual offenders, PO, their parole conditions, they got like 40 more things on their checklist than anybody who's on regular parole. Like they can't have phones with internet, they can't live close to schools, just a whole bunch of other stuff when you become a registered sex offender. And they were constantly finding these guys with porn on their phone and not being where they said they were being, just constant violations, right? So in my mind, what I gained from that is that a lot of sexual deviants who are attracted and addicted to this sexually deviant behavior, as long as they have the opportunity, bro, they're gonna do it. Now, if Joe Blow, who's down here standing at the bus stop looking for young girls to attack, is gonna do it regardless, what do you think a man with $1 billion at his disposal is gonna do? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's dangerous to me. It's like letting a pit bull on a playground full of 4-year-olds and just saying, he bit one of the kids, but give that kid $1 million and then let the pit bull back out there. It don't sit well with me, bro. It don't sit well with me. And I can't say I can't speak to Cassie's motivations because I don't know her, but I can say what I see, which is a predator being free because he paid some money does not work for society.
And this name, it's never worked because just like I made reference to men who came forward about Catholic priests molesting them and things like that. You ever see the movie what's it called, Spotlight?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they've been paying and paying all these families off, whatever.
Paying the kids and moving the priest. Paying the kids and moving the priest.
And the priest will go to another archdiocese and molest like 30, 40 more kids.
Do the same shit all over again.
So this is the thing. You're absolutely right.
So what you think, Mr. Take that, gonna do? Think it's gonna stop? You think it's gonna be all love now?
I personally think that he gonna relax for a little while, but if history is repeating itself, R. Kelly has got off in 2002, and then, he kept going, but also.
But his pocketbook was a lot smaller.
True that.
Right.
True that. But who knows, maybe at some point other people come forward. Because that's typically what happens after one comes forward, whatever. other people get the bright idea to, you know, tell their story, whatever. Maybe dude get brought up on charges.
But
Maybe he do end up in prison. We don't know yet.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I read the affidavit. If you blew up a man's car, right? You blew up a man's car. You hire some hookers to smash this chick on camera. You provided them with drugs and horse tranquilizers and alcohol, and it's hella graphic, bro. It's hella graphic. This is like the pinnacle. This is, man, like, the only thing she didn't say is like, he shot a baby in the head in front of me on the church steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, how, I don't see how anybody with a story less catastrophic and emotionally detrimental to a person's sanity can come forward and because everybody got stories, man. It's a running joke all over. If you look on YouTube, if you just look Diddy secret parties, Diddy this, Diddy that, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, don't go party. You don't go to party. You don't go to Diddy party unless you with the wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? By wild, they mean wow. Like he's not, I'm gonna bring a feather to bed freaky. He gonna bring the whole chicken to bed. You feel me?
On the real.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I just, I can't speak to her credibility, bro, and I can't speak. Now let me take that back because I don't want that to sound the wrong way. I can't speak to her motivations based on the fact that she agreed to silence everything for some bread, right? Because in no other facet, like I equate like rapists and murderers are the two people who should never get a pass. That's how I feel. And that's just me personally.
No.
You steal somebody's shit, you can get them their shit back. You know, you breaking somebody's home, you offend them, you defame their character, all the other shit, embezzlement, fraud, blah, 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 blah. You could give somebody money to replace that shit.
Okay, OG Bobby Johnson, come on.
I'm just saying. Right, if you steal from a man, you can replace that man's goods.
With equal value.
Right, with equal value. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like rape and murder, no. Those are my two things where even if you pay this bread, if I was, I'm gonna just say this, if I was like a district attorney or somebody in New York with power, just knowing this and being able to go on the internet and see what all these other people are saying, I'm on his ass. This dude can't be out here doing it because there's too many people who are working hard and struggling and building themselves up from nothing. Imagine that. You build yourself up from nothing. You're putting all these hours into your singing and your dancing and your routine and your work and your all of this, and then you finally meet this person who's supposed to get you to where you really want to be in life based off of your hard work and effort, and then they fucking, you know what I'm saying, molest and violate and mentally and physically destroy you and then throw you the fuck away. You can't pay me nothing for that. You can't pay me nothing for that. And it's just me again, but I'm looking at it from, you can't pay me nothing for that, bro.
But we also have to understand too, everybody's not that mentally strong. Or so some people, you know, are weak emotionally, and you know, that 30 million is a band-aid. Yeah. It's not gonna take back what happened, you know, and you know, I know a lot of people don't, you know, just like you say, you know, you don't know her motives, you know, things like that, and I know that's what other people was getting at, but you know, my thing was everybody was like kind of blaming her for coming out so late. And it's like, you know, that's what I say, you know, what difference does it make how long it took for her to come out? You know, a lot of people, especially people who were molested and raped, a lot of people are embarrassed to come out and say what happened. A lot of people are afraid to have what's happening now. You know, people are, you know, questioning, you know, why she's doing it, why she's coming out all of a sudden, you know, but it's like nobody's saying like, why did he do it? You know, nobody's, you know, really getting on his ass for, you know, being a fucking predator, you know, and, you know, being a manipulator.
Well, the rest of the entertainment industry definitely is. They talking bad about him, bro.
Yeah,
They talking bad about him.
Yeah, because they got to.
Yeah, they talking bad about him. I mean,
They got to separate themselves from that, you know.
But you got a lot of people who are saying openly, yeah, I don't rock with dude. I don't want to cause no static because I got a career. But I'm not going to his house to kick it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to his party to chill.
A lot of people, you know, separate themselves from him at this point. I see Janet Jackson that took and removed him out of a picture.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Man,
You know, so I mean that affidavit was graphic, man. I was like, I didn't get a chance to read all 35 pages of it, but it was definitely, you know, it's like the first 9 pages. I was like, I had enough. I said, oh, no,
man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy out here, man. I don't know. I think again, man. I just, you know, I'm just not with that predator shit, man. Like you said, I think we should be stronger. You know, you got daughters. I got a daughter, bro. From time to time, I mess with my daughter. Not in a way to harm her, but, you know, we play fight. You know, I make her rough because I train her in boxing. You know, we started karate, but it was too slow for her. So I started training her myself in boxing. Now I play fight with her. I toughen up. Sometimes I let her, daddy, 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 and I spoil her. And sometimes I shut it down and I instruct her to do what she needs to get done because I don't want her mind to be weak. I don't want her to think because as the predominant male in her life, I want her to have expectations, right? But I also want her to be strong enough to know the difference than when a male is grooming you and when a male is rocking with you because they care about you. Because here's the thing, care and love and grooming are the exact same thing. Grooming is, oh, I see this young lady that's been abused, that's emotionally and mentally weak. I'm going to take her shopping. I'm going to tell her she's beautiful. I'm going to do all these great things for her. And then right when I know that I'm everything to her, I'm going to tell her she got to get butt naked and call 5 dudes from down the street and we going to film it and go to drugs. This is what Cassie's saying basically Diddy did. Yeah. And this is how grooming always works. This is why these coaches and all of these other people that end up in these young children's lives end up the people manipulating them because they're professionals at disguising grooming as love and caring for them, bro. So it's deep. It's heavyweight psychological shit that we have to kind of be able to prepare our children for without letting them know that's what we're preparing them for. You get what I'm saying? Like it's levels to this shit, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so with that being said, like Puffy say, I mean not Puffy, like 50 Cent say, when he first met Puff, one of the times he first interacted with him, and he was like, Diddy was like, yeah, bro, what's up? I'm gonna take you shopping. And he was like, what? Fuck you mean? Man, what? You wild, bro. Like, we don't do that. You don't tell no man you gonna take him shopping. What?
I don't want my homies buying me shit, man.
Right.
Hey, just out of force of habit, my homie got in the car. This was years ago. We was at White Castle. Yeah. My homie got the car. He was getting in the car, and he had, you know, my other homie was sitting in the car waiting, and he had the drinks in the cup holder. Yeah. He had opened up the straw and put it in my man's drink. What? It was just like a force of habit. He was like, so he said, did you put my motherfucking straw? He said, I don't want it.
Like, hold on, bro. It's boundaries, bro. Certain boundaries you don't cross.
He gave him another pop.
Yeah,
he said, I don't want this.
Yeah, certain boundaries you don't cross with the bros, man. You feel me? Yeah. And that's why we always talk about masculinity and not every masculine move is not toxic. And you got to have these boundaries out here. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we open up our young men and our young boys to weirdos. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your boundaries as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's real, man. But you know, I hope, man. I just hope that no one else is harmed. That's what I really hope. I hope that no one else is harmed. You know, I'm a big fan of Robert, bro. I'm a big fan of his music. I'm a big fan of his art. I'm a big fan of, part of my life. The soundtrack to that is Tales, right? Years reading liner notes, seeing man written, produced, and arranged. Like this man's a talent. This man went from singing on the train to doing awesome and amazing things, right? I'm a great fan of this man's work, but I have a daughter, right? And if this man is willing to destroy the lives of young ladies willingly for no other reason than to get his rocks off, then I have no problem if that's what he's did and that's what he's going to continue to do in his life, then I have no problem with him not being free. Right? Now, with that being said, I can't speak on it because I wasn't there. I don't know for sure. I mean, I watched the tape in the barbershop with everybody else in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But no matter how much I'm a fan of a person's art, when it comes to hurting people, I'm not with that, bro. I'm not with it. And I feel like in America, we getting cool with people getting hurt if they get some compensation. Like, even with the whole police brutality issue. The thing that's really forcing police accountability is that municipalities are going bankrupt paying out lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? Last year, Chicago paid something like $121 million in police lawsuits, police brutality, police negligence, police misconduct lawsuits, bro. This is what's pushing reform and defunding the police. And you know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying, yo, the public should feel safe when the police show up. Nobody's even saying that no more. It's not even a reality. It's like, just hit them in the pockets so they can get their act together. And then when everybody's broke, where do that leave us? The behavior is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
yeah,
if the police whooped your ass,
yeah,
you want that money, don't you?
Oh yeah, I want that bread. I want that bread. I ain't gonna lie. But again, like I said, it ain't murder, it ain't rape, right? It ain't murder, it ain't rape. Now, if they kill me, every dude with my face on the t-shirt, slap them upside the head, because y'all supposed to be sending it up and burning stuff down over me. Don't play about me, especially when you know I'm a righteous dude and I didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Send it up over me. You feel me? But yeah, man.
I'll definitely take a side part, man, for a few million.
Aside
that.
Hey, man.
I'll shake the officer's hand and everything. I'm like, you didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
I shouldn't have been speeding either, but it's fine. It's cool. We good.
I mean, but them M's change things, man. I think, and this is another thing, bro. I think it's hard. Here's an observation I made, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. I think it's become harder for black women in the culture because when they meet men with money, they don't hold them to societal standards.
Oh, hell no.
At all, right?
No.
So men who don't have as much money, they're going to lose respect when they know you'll go lay with a rapper, then lay with a ball player, then lay with another rapper, then lay with a mogul, and you'll have 4 different kids by 4 different dudes, but because you're getting $50,000 a month in child support, that's okay. Right? But then when you get with a regular dude and you see he texting the chick after a certain time, now you're like, oh, you a scoundrel, you a scumbag. And we see a lot of regular everyday women being supportive of this behavior. So it's really conveying to the black man like, yo, so as long as I got money and I can take care of you, I can do whatever I want to do. Right? But then when that escalates to the next level, then you got people like, Mr. Take that. I got money, so I can do whatever I want to do. It's fucking dangerous, bro. It's dangerous. It's a slippery slope.
And the thing is, it's like we don't know. We have no way of telling, where this really stemmed from, but I can guarantee you it didn't start with black people. It definitely didn't start with black people. White people, especially, older, rich white men, they started this rape culture.
Yeah.
They started all of this, and unfortunately, and this is, it's deep. This shit is so deep because every black man who's gotten rich tried to emulate a white man.
Yeah.
Got a white woman.
This is where they learning this behavior.
Yeah. We get white women. You know, we start dressing like white men.
Yeah.
You know, we wasn't wearing, you know, like coming up, we didn't see our fathers and stuff wearing, you know, Armani suits and,
right.
you know, and dressing super flashy, you know, things like that.
Right.
We saw the drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, drug dealers was gaudy.
Right.
You know, big chains, you know, MCM jogging suits and shit like that. But when black men get to a certain level of wealth, we begin acting like white men.
Yeah, not all.
I can say all. I know I ain't saying all. I ain't gonna say all.
Because Ice Cube, my man, Ice Cube been
big
the
fan.
same nigga for 40 years.
Big fan, man. Always been a big fan. So let me reverse that. I'm not saying every black man, but
a lot of them, the majority of
you know that we see. You know, we take on all of the bad aspects of white men.
Yeah.
You know, and that's basically what it comes down to. And we just like white men have always disrespected, raped, abused black women.
Their own women, man.
No, yeah, especially they women too, you know. But you know, from the plantations on up to the factories, you know, like, they've been mistreating black women, and now you know we've picked up that, you know. Not me and you per se, not every black man per se.
Speak for yourself, brother.
Yeah, yeah. Not every black man that we come across, you know, but just generally speaking, you know, that's what we've come to. You know, we don't respect our women, you know, which, you know, leads me back to, you know, the point where I was saying, like, you know, when it is, you know, we talking about Aaliyah's a widower, you know, Diddy, and you know whoever else that have victimized black women. You know, I don't care if Cassie is mixed or whatever. She's a black woman at the end of the day. You know, even if you know she doesn't live her life as one. You know, but
and regardless of her race, bro.
Yeah.
Regardless of
but I'm speaking of what somebody was saying. But when young black women come and speak out and say what was done to them, you know, they're questioned. They've been getting questioned since their mother's boyfriend molested them, since their uncles molested them, you know, family, friends, everything.
But that's in America, bro. It's across the board because men have been in charge since the inception of the country.
Yeah.
And let's keep it 100. Most men are perverts, flat out. They just perverts. No man is out here saying, I'm going to look for the woman of my dreams. No, every single man.
We looking for the woman of our dreams, but it's always gonna be something sexual. That's gonna be first.
right. We're gonna see that ass from across the room, and then we're gonna find out.
Have big titties. She can be beautiful. Her ass can be fat. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, I want her to be funny too. I want her to be
exactly.
smart.
It'll help if she can cook and keep the house clean.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like you say, every man, you know, has. You know, a little bit of perv in them. You know, that's just, you know, we just hypersexual anyway. It's just a lot of us, you know, have better discipline. You know, to the point where, you know, I'm not going. You know, I see a woman, you know, they got an ass cheeks out. That's not my invitation to grab her ass.
Right.
You know, every man don't have that discipline. That's where, you know, the breakdown comes into play.
And I feel like you're absolutely right. And I feel like that's a learned behavior because sexuality is a natural impulse.
Absolutely.
And you have to be taught how to properly control it. And in our communities, because we always dealing with so much other shit, we haven't really had the time to make that a priority. That's number one. Number two, if you go back 150 years, 250 years, the people who owned us were encouraging us to have incest, because if you got a strong brother and a strong cousin and they got two little female cousins, I want more slaves. So you need to go and lay with them. Like, let's keep it 100. In the black community, there is a history of incest and uncles and cousins doing weird shit.
Yeah.
All of that stems from the slavery era.
And even though it was just a movie, you know, Color Purple was a testimony to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the father was all in love with his daughter.
Yeah. But this is based in reality, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's based in reality. We were originally put in place to breed. And the more we bred, no matter what the circumstances were, the more revenue was brought to the owner. You feel me? This is one of the reasons. This is another reason. Knowing this and having read and studied this, this is one of the reasons why I'm not big on revenue being money being a problem solver for certain things. For rape and murder, I'm not with the payout thing. Put me in jail. Put the person in jail. Now, if you get some bread after that, by all means, congratulations. You know, and now that sounds harsh. Not congratulations, but if that helps to ease your sorrow as well, because it's jacked up to be violated or lose a loved one, and you still out here broke trying to make ends meet.
Right.
So I get that, but the number one,
that's the point I'm making.
Right.
It's like if you're not gonna be able to see him in prison, I get some form of justice. You know. Right. Now he's out there. You know what I'm saying? You didn't put your story out there. Right. You know, people reading. We knew Diddy was a scumbag. You know, like you said, we been knew. You know, but we got details now. You know, so it's like it's a lose type of situation where you know he's not in jail, right. But you got paid, but he might do it to somebody else. So it's like you know, there's no real win in it, but you know, you have to get some sort of justice from this, you know, and like you said, if that's what's going to help ease the pain. Money it helps a lot, you know what I'm saying, but you know it's not the cure all, right. You know what I'm saying. So who knows what's going to happen with her, you know, going forward, right. You know, who knows what's going to happen with him going forward. So
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I just hope it work out. It was something else that we had started talking about, bro, before Meg Thee Stallion and Party. Yeah. So he dropped this track. so let me say this. I want to lead with this. He dropped the track. He's speaking on his feelings. A lot of people not feeling it. A lot of people are. But here's my thing. Anytime we hear a black man talking about how he felt in a situation, talking about his raw emotions, not necessarily crying or complaining, but speaking from a raw emotional standpoint. Yo, I was dating this lady and she did this and it hurt me. It made me feel hurt, right? Anytime we hear anything remotely close to that, oh, this is a bitch ass nigga. He's soft. He this, he that, he blah, 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 blah. Right? We feel like, I think a lot of times we feel like because we come from this culture of so much trauma, the tougher we are, the better we are. But that hypermasculinity also fuels predatory behavior, right? So with that being said, you know, I listened to a smidgen of the track, but I didn't really concern myself because, like, your relationship. You know, you hooked up. At the end of the day, you hooked up with, you know, look at her rise and how she move and what she on. You could kind of, you know, I don't know what your expectations was, but I wouldn't have expected, you know. Yeah.
What I will say, you know, like I was telling somebody else, a lot of entertainers, you know, their facade on camera, you know, and you know their persona as an artist, you know, I think it differs from who they are sometimes. I'm not gonna say all the time, right. You know, because it could be a good facade, bad person behind camera, bad girl facade, cream puff behind camera, right. But to you know, to go over what you were saying, and I was just on Facebook, and somebody shared a post, and basically they was saying that he was being sassy. First of all, let me just say this. I'm glad this nigga's dark skinned, because if this was Drake, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't hit the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I have to pay for everything a light skinned celebrity does. Right. So I'm glad first and foremost that this is a dark skinned dude, but this is not me saying
you a wild boy though. Hey, Alan Scorsese on Facebook. You want to laugh? Check my man's out. He a wild boy, but in a good way.
Hey, but this is not me saying that he's soft at all. I don't think the man's soft one bit. Right. I think it took a lot of guts You know what I'm saying? To go and you know, and this is the thing. I listened to the whole song. He didn't dog her at all.
At all.
He was saying exactly how he felt about her. You know,
His feelings.
he was like, he said, you know, basically like you are a fucked up person. He like, you need help.
Right.
He said, you sick in the head. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't say you bitch, you a hoe. Even though he spoke on, you know, her sexual transgressions that you know, but this is the thing, he could speak on that using a relationship with him.
Right.
She said something about it. Somebody's like, wait, she say his name. We knew who she was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this is the thing. I love Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was riding with her when Tori shot her in the big toe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
This,
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, but you know, it's like, why is it that a woman, she gets to say what she wants to say about a man, and when he responds, he's being sassy? That's craziness. Right. That's asinine.
Right. But that's one person's view.
That's one person's view on the situation.
But like we said earlier, no, you're right. It's like I just said, as a society, as Black Twitter and then the Black internet goes, that always makes you soft, right? And that ain't what's up.
Yeah, I can't speak on how I feel. I can't speak on my truth, but I know to be true. Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm kissing and telling. That's not kissing and telling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's not kissing and telling. He in that song, he didn't go and talk about everybody he was sleeping with. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, you know, I think Game is a kissing and telling ass nigga.
And your art, the best art is when you take your heart and your emotions and your experiences and pour it into that.
Yeah.
That's where we get the greatest art from.
That's exactly what art is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that's in you, all your raw emotion, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you put it on your canvases, you know what I'm saying? You do it in your tattoos. Right. You know, things of that nature. Yeah. But it's like, why is it such a, you know, a crime? Right. You know, why is it so frowned upon when a man, you know, opens his mouth to you know, to defend himself? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you put me out there, let me tell my side now. True. So I'm supposed to sit here and let people think the worst of me, you know what I'm saying, while you just, you know, run around skipping around twerking and shit, you know, and they just thinking the worst of me. You know what I'm saying? No, I think if more men, you know, put out, like I was telling you, it's a lot of ain't shit women. Yeah. It's a lot of ain't shit women. You know what I'm saying? So I think if a lot of, it's so many men, going back to what I was saying, you get shamed for opening your mouth and speaking your truth, you know, because people going to look at you a certain way, they call you soft, gay, all this other stuff, because, you know, you defending your name, you know, or just like you said, just saying how you feel. Right. You know, it's like, bro, man, that shit hurt my feelings. Right. Yeah, and you can hear it in his voice. You can tell he was hurt by the shit. Like, man, like I fucked with you. I was about to propose to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had me shaking hands with niggas you was fucking.
That's rough. That's rough. But
that's why I said that shit was brave. I would have never said that, bro.
Hey, but you know what? But listen, man, I've lived a long time, and that's the story of life. You know, it's fellas out here that's foul, it's women out here that's foul. Sometimes they go down like that.
You know? Right. You know, and
they go down like that.
I salute him, man. Like you say, he didn't defame her character. I salute him
for telling his truth. And like I said, from what I heard, it wasn't in a distasteful way. I root for Megan Thee Stallion's ascension. I root for her applying herself to her craft and growing it into a multi-million-dollar business for herself, right? She's had some songs that, you know, I'm bumping it. It's bumping, right? I'm all for the lady rappers. You know, right now it's their time. They doing their thing. I'm all for that. I've also seen, you know, I was at Essence Fest when she spent like 30 minutes of her show, bro, just bringing people on the stage to just twerk and turn up. And it was like, that gave me mixed feelings, bro, because I didn't understand. I'm a person that I look for purpose in things. You got the upper echelon of Black America in this stadium. You got everybody from Oprah to Gayle to Barack to whoever who may show up to Essence Fest to support Essence as a brand, and what they've done and how they portrayed themselves has been to uplift and add class and value.
Exactly.
Class and value to the image of the black woman. Not saying that twerking is to take away from the image of the black woman, but time, place, context, I didn't feel like that was what was up. You know, and after the concert, you know, my girl was like, man, you ain't, you know, Lil Wayne came on, I'm filming, I'm turning up, all the other rappers, MC Light and Salt and Pepper came out, like it was a vibe, but I felt like the level of class to her show, like that kind of took down, it lowered my level of being a fan of her, man, because it was like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? And I just,
but you know,
between that and hearing all the people involved in the Tory Lanez thing, and you know, you messing with this person and that person, and you and your homegirl smashing the same people.
It's messy as hell.
It was messy as hell, bro.
And it wasn't to say that she, you know, she deserved to get shot in the foot.
All right.
You know, and that's I also think that's something that's going to come out of, you know, within the next, you know, few weeks or whatever. You know, people are going to try to, you know, whatever dude said in the song, you know, is going to give, you know, these ignorant niggas, you know what I'm saying, the courage to come out and say some stupid shit like that's why she got shot in her foot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would never say that she deserved that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
you
not
know,
what's
so,
up.
but
That's not what's up.
But you know, like you were saying, you know, you just didn't understand the point of, you know, what she was doing. You know, this is the thing, man. People love the whole culture for whatever reason. They just embracing the whole culture. And when I say whole culture, you know, we go just take the twerking out of it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, even though they like to make the excuse and say like, oh, you know, we've been twerking in Africa. Like, bitch, you ain't in Africa. Shut up.
You're not in Africa. True story. You're not in Africa.
And that's not me saying that you can't have fun. Have fun, whatever, you know. But when I say whole culture, you know,
if you wearing the uniform, you're gonna be treated like the worker.
And then, you know, on top of that, look at the messages a lot of these women are putting out. Glorilla, Sexy Red, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. You know, I could go on and on. You know, they're putting out the message that, you know, oh, fuck these niggas, get their money. You know, I don't want no relationship. You know, meanwhile, a couple of these motherfuckers are married in relationships and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that, you know, male rappers haven't been, you know, sending our ass all, you know, Snoop, and Snoop and everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Sending us clean up, bro.
You know, and this is the thing. I've acknowledged that.
Right.
I've acknowledged that years ago. I was like, man, we've been getting sent off by, you know, our favorite rappers. You know, like these niggas happily married for 27 years, man. They telling us to go get hoes.
Yeah.
You know, but
because it's sale.
But yeah, but now it, you know, it turned into, you know, the female rappers doing it now.
Right.
And so women get in their head like, well, man been doing this and this and that. It's like, look, it don't make it right. That's just like, you know, you talking about Hugh Hefner did this, and you know why we get mad at R. Kelly. No, it's like it was wrong either point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so this is what the image and the message that you putting out to my daughters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now I have to monitor what they're listening to.
Right.
I have to monitor what they're watching. You know, how they carry themselves or whatever, because you all are telling them, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, suck a nigga dick, get some money, fuck him in the face, all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want my kids, you know what I'm saying, at 15, 16 years old, because they're doing it now.
Yeah, it's wild.
They doing threesomes and everything.
Yeah, shorty. Yeah.
They're, you know, giving head on camera and everything. So it's like they're picking it up from what they're seeing, right? You know, and so now we have this, you know, there's always been like hypersexual culture, you know what I'm saying, since the NWA days, you know what I'm saying, the Luke days or whatever. But now, you know, we have the internet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have multiple, avenues, which we can, be, exposed to this kind of thing or whatever. But it's a different time now, and I've never seen so much shit like this be embraced by our women.
Yeah, it's
like
it's a different time right now.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that. I think a lot of that comes from their years of enduring the trauma and being on the back burner and behind the scenes of, like you said, our community at large, our male community at large, being sent off by what we should be doing as our behavior toward our women and our children, right? So the whole time they've been the first victim of that. They've been the one right up under that. You know what I'm saying? And when you got several women who went from stripping to rapping. You got several women who went from being impoverished to rapping. It's the same story we had. This is what I feel like Ye was talking about when he was breaking it down in his 3-hour interview, but he said something about that group of people and they shut him down. But a lot of what he said when I watched that interview was about how these people who are in power are continually selling us negative images of ourselves through art. And because they're disguising it as art, when it's really self-destruction, they're making money off of it. They would never do that to their own people. What I found myself personally, and I was recently talking about this with a partner, man. At my age, I still love the culture. People say the culture is dead, this and that, but I like Currency. I like Cardo. I like Larry June. I still like people like Busta and Nas. I like people like Jay-Z. I like some of the young cats. I like Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? I like Lil Baby. But I'm moving more towards a level of hip hop that's about getting money, being fly, being a player, living a good life, having an opportunity to be somebody fly and dope. You ain't got to be corny, but you ain't got to be no killer. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really be into none of the drill. My drill rap is like my workout music. If I'm trying to, put another plate on the bar, that's gonna get me pumped up enough to do that. Otherwise, I don't want to hear that shit.
I like Roddy Ricch.
Yeah,
I like Roddy Ricch. I actually like Gunna. I never really listened to him like that. And I started listening. I was like, I like Gunna. And I like Lotto, man. I don't know why. I like that little ratchet motherfucker.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. But that's not my go-to music. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I'm still stuck in a time warp because I don't want that negative.
Right.
Like I don't want that in my psyche. You know what I'm saying? Because it definitely
affects you on an energy.
It definitely makes you want to fight them. It makes you start thinking about who owe you money.
It's energy. That's what Kanye said. It's energy. It vibrates on a level with your. All you are is energy, bro. You a bunch of molecules vibrating. And what you take in affects whether you vibrate like this or you vibrate smooth and mellow. And this is what the music does. And this is why no other genre outside of poor black communities are being fed this stuff over and over and over and over again, bro.
Bro, when I had this one guy working at the shop, just the people he brought in there, and I let them use the Bluetooth speaker or whatever, and it was just like I was uncomfortable the whole day. I was like I was just uneasy. I couldn't leave. I was like I didn't want to leave my shop in the hands of these people. You know what I'm saying? I said, man.
Based off of the ox, huh?
Bro, I was sitting up there. I was like, man, like my day been done. I had 6 hours. My day left. I didn't want to leave from up there.
That's some dangerous music, bro.
I said, nah, I don't want to leave from up here, man. These niggas gonna tear my shit up, man. If there's music playing,
yeah,
and they was acting a certain way. But here we are now. I got a couple young ladies in there. One of them, she's a little older than the two of us, whatever. The music she played, smooth music, you know, like it sets the tone in there. It's cozy in that night, you know. And what the biggest compliment I got out of one of her clients, you know, she said, you know, she said it's clean in here. She said, you know, but she said I feel protected in here.
Word.
She said, you know, I like how you know, she said you have a guarded demeanor. She said not in a way, you know, that you are standoffish, but when somebody comes to the door, you know, you know, she like, you know, I'm in the front, and she's like, you know, I feel like you protect ladies in there, whatever, you know.
Right.
I know that this is kind of straight off subject, whatever, but
No, this is exactly on subject.
But she was just saying, like, you know, she said the music in here, the energy in here, she said I love it, you know what I'm saying? That was the biggest compliment that I could ever gotten during this, you know, my years as a business owner, you know, and I've cut hair over 20 years now. It's like that was a bigger compliment than any haircut I've ever done.
Word.
Because it's like that's what I was aiming for.
Yeah.
I aim for, you know, people to feel the energy I put in there. You know, everything that I've ever tried to weed out is coming into, you know, realization, you know, and it's like, man, I was so happy that, you know, somebody actually told me that, you know, shit's working. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah, I rock with that. That's actually been one of my keys to success, bro, over my last 10 years of doing business, has been providing that vibe, providing that level of safety and comfort, man. One of the things I learned in a lecture at the final call, I heard the Nation of Islam brothers speak on this, and they said in the community, in the family, in the household, in the black community, the woman is 75%. The man is 25%. Right? We go out and we earn, and we do our part to create, to procreate. But the woman nurtures, the woman builds, the woman supports. The woman is what makes the house into a home. The woman is who guards and provides and protects the offspring to the point that every man is allowed to grow his family and his vision and his wealth when he has the woman and he protects her and guides her. One of the things that we've been talking about doing out this whole podcast, that what you just said brings a culmination to this. One of the major reasons why the black man is not respected across cultures, across the globe, the black American man, is because we do not protect our women. We do not protect our children. We do not protect our women and our children. And when you find a good woman and you nurture her and you support her, and you are a good enough man to get her to follow your lead and build with you, that's what it's all about, building communities, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started the Black on Black Wealth shit. It's like, it ain't about politics. It ain't about your personal feelings. It ain't about, you know, people say, if all black people, if all this, it ain't no all nothing. As a community, we have to protect our women and protect our children. When we do that, so many other valuable things are going to come into play because we got that unity, because we got that communication, because we got our guard down. How many times you be out and we be outside as men and we 7-8 dudes walk in. If 7-8 dudes walk in and they a couple, even if you looking at them brothers, you what's up? It's gonna be the women who like, man, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, girl? All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Their energy is different. You know, and our music and our culture is persistently teaching us to be at odds with each other. But we need each other. And we need our masculine and our feminine roles. And right now, more than anything, whether our women want to admit it or not, they need to know that they're safe when they're around us. Because when they're safe and they're protected, then they can let their guard down and be more who they really are than who they think is going to empower them. A lot of what you see them emulating is because they want to feel empowered. You know?
Yeah. And that's where, you know, our lines get crossed
Mhm.
with this this topic of women having masculine energy,
Mhm.
and I know some women who have masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? But I also think that men who think women have masculine energy are misreading, what they perceive as masculine energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you just not used to, a strong-willed woman.
Right.
You know, and you will find a lot of men at odds and in competition with these women. And even this is what I call sassy when a man, you know, when he gets intimidated by a woman's success or um, her willingness to say, like, not saying that she don't need a man, but to say that I am self efficient. I can do it by myself.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
great. Because
but
if we do it together, it's gonna be that much better.
absolutely. And so,
Yeah.
a lot of men would look at that and say, "Oh, I don't want no woman that's gonna, have more masculine energy than me. I don't want no woman like who don't need no man." It's like, you missing the point.
Right.
Nobody said, I'm not saying that no woman has ever said it,
Right.
but like I said, it's just this breakdown in communication with us where, men don't know what a real woman is no more, and then it also translating to let's say women, when you see a group of women outside and they get into it, they get to fighting and stuff.
Mhm.
Then now you got a bunch of men recording them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have not one man stepping up
Yeah.
and saying like, nah, we're not doing this.
Right.
Nah, ladies, nah, you go this way, you go that way. Y'all not about to fight today. You're too
Right.
beautiful for that. We're not doing that.
Right.
They love to see women tear each other down, whatever, so they can talk about it later.
It's not always the case though.
No,
but it's a lot of that going on.
It's definitely a lot of that.
Because I'm a peacemaker, but I'm a peacemaker from a distance because I host a weekly event, and they always say you always trying to calm somebody down, but I'm calming people down from a distance. My number one thing is I got to get home to my family. My daughter needs me, so anytime something escalate, first thing I say, how can I make it home, right? But I do actively do that, and I stand out because I'm the only person that do that. Because one of the things I learned in my struggle with the hood and my run-ins with the police and my in and out of kicked out of schools and shit like that is that every time you allow somebody to anger you, you allow them to control you. Once I piss you off, I can get you more and more mad, and I can have you doing stuff you would never do. And I can steer you like an angry bull. But if you keep control of your emotions, you always gonna have the upper hand on me, right? This is something ain't none of our people learning, ain't none of our women learning. This is the absolute opposite of what our music is teaching us, of what our culture is now teaching us, of what they putting on the radio and they promoting is everybody's an op, kill your ops, get like you said, get your money from these dudes. Everybody is a pawn. Every single interaction has to be transactional. You have to get more from them than they get from you, or you're a loser. This is what I
and it's like it's divisive at the end of the day, and not only that, social media is divisive. Look at it. Every time something happens with black people, a black celebrity, whatever, it divides the black community. So now you got people over here, and you are allowed to have your own opinion, right? But people don't know how to voice their opinion without being argumentative, or people don't know how to take in information that they're getting or whatever, and process it, and just have a healthy debate. Right. Like that saying, some people listen to respond, and not listen, to be educated, and it's just you never see. I'm not gonna say never. I haven't seen. I don't never see or hear about other cultures of people, being divided by trivial nonsense. It'll be about politics, religion, things that matter. Right. You know what I'm saying? we're the only ones that are easily thrown off by trivial shit in the media, social media, memes. You know, we will get caught up in, you know, who's supposed to be paying the bills and all this other stuff. Everything which continuously breaks down the black man and woman relationship. It continues to break it down. We can't come together on anything. The closest I've seen us be in recent years was that damn riverboat fight.
Yeah. And here's my thing. You're absolutely right, but I like to point out that when we say things like that, blanket statements, like we can't, it's a lot of us. It's not all of us. What we doing, what we see a lot of people doing, a lot of things we participated in have been changing that. But at large, as a whole, more of us need to be doing this because it's not the norm, right? So we need to normalize these things. It's not that it's not a shitload of us doing this. It's a lot of us uplifting. It's a lot of us building. It's a lot of us giving back time. I know you have, you know I have. But getting to the point where it's normalized is where we want to be as a culture and as a people, because it just makes us better. Like, we've been doing so much with so little for so long as black people, you know, where me and you both come from today, to be business owners and to be fathers and to be, you know, we consider upstanding citizens in the community. You know what I'm saying? Tattoos and all. You feel me? So it's just to normalize that. I feel like having conversations like this and sharing dialogue like this and creating platforms like this, because we live in an era where, like you said, there's so much internet and there's so many more opportunities to be connected. By us doing this continually and sharing it and promoting it and getting it in front of more people, we create a space for the people who don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the hood my whole life, still active and moving around the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, without no stress or no strife. You know, I got people in that community that got my back. You know, a lot of people can't do that. They can't go as far as I have and still be able to say that you the same way. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we want for all our people, because it's like you said, you get so big that you disconnect. Now you permanently disconnected. Now you doing what these people around you doing, and you ain't gonna get away with what they get away with. We've seen that time and time again. You know what I'm saying? So this been dope, bro. I want to continue this conversation, man, but I don't know what the time is. We've been rapping for a minute, and I knew this was gonna be dope. But we're gonna get back with the people soon, and we're gonna come with another dope topic and just, you know, expand a little bit, man. You know, man, with that being said, listen, it's always a pleasure chopping it up with you, and you know that. We'll be back real soon with some new and exciting guests and dialogue. We're going to be touching bases on what's happening around Chicago and around the world. You can check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Black on Black Wealth. And you can check us out on IG at Black on Black Wealth 1. And you check out my man Ton, a.k.a.
Alan Scorsese, your girlfriend's favorite barber.
Hey.
Hey. So right now, my primary Facebook, and which is connected to my Instagram, has been glitching, and they keep flagging me. So right now, my Instagram and my Facebook is down right now, but it will be back up soon. And you can find me at Reign Supreme 82. That's on Instagram, and you can find me at Anton Reign on Facebook.
Word.
Hey, man, check them out. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Listen, man,
It's been great rapping with you, bro, as always.
Sir.
we thank y'all for tuning in.
Please like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend.
And remember, we bring in Black on Black Wealth.
From coast to coast like butter on toast. You dig? We'll holler at you soon. Thanks for watching. Peace.